Charles. How are you?
Doing great.
That's cool. This is the...
You do the... Yeah,
we don't have our real voices, but we do now podcast.
Oh. Well, I mean, every now and then I can drop some bass notes. I do want to say I noticed on that Jethro Tull review.
Yeah,
I checked
saw.
Your channel there, Lee. Yeah, we had a comment. Someone say, "Hey, I apologize to that person. We're just glad you watched." And when the 50 IQ, it's 40 Lee, 10 me. Okay. When it comes to music.
I might debate you on the amount, but the thing is,
we're just glad you watched.
Yeah, I'm not, but I'm not. I'm not glad that he. I mean, I'm not disappointed in it, but yeah, he's
Lee's a little more sensitive than me.
This guy is a little bit more.
No, you know this guy.
No, I'm saying I know his type. He's more the kind who.
He thinks a flute's a heavy metal instrument. That guy.
No, he just thinks that we should smile and say everything is perfect.
Oh, it wasn't. That album sucked. And the Quicksilver Messenger Service guy, big love to you, buddy. You know what sucks is, and that Jethro Tull album sucks. Sorry to you Jethro Tull fans. There's always one.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. I actually liked most of the album, but the fact that this guy equated my opinion with yours is what I take objection to. But
that's what don't make sense. Who was out of our collective 50 IQ, which would be 25 apiece, I'm assuming, but I'm being nice and saying it's 10 me, 40 Lee. Who was the dumber of the two? I don't get.
I'm going to say the dumber is the guy who didn't even understand what both of us are saying, because I'll tell you like this. You have a certain opinion based upon what you like, and so you're very, very high smart when it comes to music that's not of this type. So, you are showing your smarts in that way.
Right. I like meat and potatoes, rock and roll. I'm a Kiss fan, by God.
Yeah.
Well, up to a certain point. I like punk music, damn it. And usually if you like punk, you're not going to like uber progressive fucking goddamn Renaissance fair shit like that Jethro Tull album. But if you like that, as we say, all of us professionals, unlike that person, you can like what you like. If you like the Jethro Tull album, good for you.
I actually liked quite a bit of it, except for one song that was maybe a song that you liked a little more. So that I got a little bit irritated at, but hey, whatever.
Wow, Quicksilver guy, your guys' worst album was better than that one, and I've listened to quite a few of them. Thanks.
We need to review the Dino Valenti solo album.
Is it better than Jethro Tull? I only ever just.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying it's like that.
I just shudder because
his voice might be like a flute, but he doesn't play the flute.
Yeah, the Dino Valenti stuff's a little hit and miss. I'm more of a Gary Duncan guy.
Yeah, you need to hear more Gary. I mean, no, you need to hear more Dino.
Yeah, I need to.
You need to hear more Dino. Get away from Gary.
Well, I mean, like I said.
I know what you think about Gary. Gary has a bunch of crappy Quicksilver albums that he did after Dino left the group.
No way. Gary Duncan is that. He's like the Cliff Burton of Quicksilver Messenger Service. He's like the greatest Quicksilver guy. No, Dino Valenti.
Dino saved them.
He was good. Yeah, it was one or two I wasn't wild about.
Yeah. They were good. Well, no. When they weren't good with him, it's because they were all not good.
Okay, to that guy that wanted to make the comment. The Jethro Tull's better than the worst of Nantucket. There you go. If you want to hear something worse, listen to Nantucket. There you go. Coming soon, our review of Nantucket. It's a long way to the top. When you get to hear me lose my shit over there butchering my favorite AC/DC song, and 10, I'm sure 9 or 10 more songs after it. One of the worst groups I've ever heard, folks, is Nantucket.
I think that you'll start to like them better.
But what are we doing today on the? We're not talking our normal voices, but yeah, we are.
We're doing something that's on a different level.
Yeah.
This is Funkadelic, Maggot Brain, and thank you, Charles, for suggesting it. When you did, I almost thought, is this me? As you giving it to me? Because I had this album. Did you know of this album back in the day? Or hear it?
I wasn't even born.
Well, maybe not back in the day, but ever.
You probably don't remember, because you usually don't remember yesterday.
Yeah.
Talked about something.
That's absolutely true.
Last year, we reviewed a Parliament album.
I did?
With me. Yeah, we did.
I only remember vaguely because you mentioned it now.
Yeah, we did. The one with... I can't... It wasn't... No, it would have been George Clinton, Atomic Dog. I don't remember the name of the album. But
a part of me, the sober part that doesn't want to come out, remembers it a little bit.
Yeah, we did a Parliament album last year. And now we did Funkadelic. So I guess coming soon down the road would be Parliament Funkadelic. We did Mothership Connection, Parliament.
Okay. All right. I don't remember that name, but I remember that name of the album. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this back when I did that Parliament review, but one time I was like totally drunk doing some stuff in Berkeley, and then when I was coming home, I was feeling no pain. I was very happy, and this lady who I knew somewhat from somewhere, let's just say, she knew who I was, and she had tickets to a show that her group of people, let's just say, were putting on. And it was a show which had people who were involved in Funkadelic. And I thought, you know what? Free ticket to a show just a couple blocks away? Sure, I'll go. And then George Clinton from Funkadelic made a guest appearance, and it was a cool show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's Funkadelic, which was the first thing Clinton did, and then there was Parliament, and then there was Parliament Funkadelic. I think that's the right order. Or maybe it was Parliament Funkadelic first. I don't know. I don't know.
It's
I think it is Funkadelic, then Parliament Funkadelic.
And I don't know why they would combine the two names of the groups together.
Well, I think there was some combo of people that was in Funkadelic because, like, Funkadelic didn't have one of my favorite bass players of all time. Not my favorite, but one of them, Bootsy Collins. But he was in Parliament.
All right. So I guess.
So I think like some members of Funkadelic was mixed with Parliament.
I think that they needed to have that extra name to suit everybody.
And then George Clinton did stuff on his own, like the aforementioned Atomic Dog, which is funk. Just, man, that song kicks ass.
All right.
But to be quite honest, I'll probably lose a little cred, but I never listened to this album before.
To what? To this album?
I'd never listened to this before. I've seen the album cover.
You know what? You are not going to be losing credit because a lot of people don't even know about it, or they only know the album cover. But I have to tell you, I will give a thumbs up to St. Vincent de Paul, a place where I used to go to get tons of different thrift store albums. And I saw this, and I was like, well, aside from the interesting looking cover, I saw the time period, 1972 or whatever. I forget the year, but it was early. And I was like,
early 70s.
Yep, my thing. And then I heard it, and I was like, yeah, man. I used to listen to this album when I took different pills, but it was like I felt no pain, and I thought it was really cool, and then so it became an album that was like, if I wanted to tell people about good rock, I would tell them about this. Okay, go on.
And that's a huge key is because I hadn't heard this, because I grew up in a house where a funky album in our house was Wild Cherry, or
oh boy,
the Rolling Stones, Some Girls, or
ouch.
One exception, Rick James.
And that's even not a big exception.
But, I mean, it was certainly more funky than Wild Cherry.
To someone who doesn't know any better, yes.
But this album is... We'll get into what it is. I get too many spoilers,
because a lot of people might have a certain idea about it. But then when you hear it, you find out.
It is a little more rocking than I would have suspected. There you go.
Well, I kind of knew that it would be anyway, but okay.
I didn't know it because I hadn't heard it. So
I kind of knew it because I kind of used to listen to magazine articles and I knew stuff. Okay.
You were listening to like motherfucking Hank Williams in the Womb and shit. I mean, I didn't.
I was listening to Al Jolson in the Womb, but
the first
close.
album I ever had was Nick Yoder. I mean, come on.
Oh boy, that's absolutely nothing to be happy about,
isn't it? That's sad, right? So, but
it's actually cry worthy.
Now I'll just reference the Parliament that we did do. For fans of like, and this wouldn't be Lee. You don't respect the rap folks too much. But if you do respect the rap, and especially if you respect that West Coast rap, like early 90s, there are so many damn samples that came off George Clinton music. It's like George Clinton, James Brown.
I'm into Curtis Blow.
Well, he's New York, but that's okay.
Okay, then I don't know.
But, you know, I'm talking NWA, Dr. Dre, stuff like that.
Yeah, not stuff I'm into.
Snoop Dogg. I mean, one of his first big songs.
I'm more into him than the others.
His
LL
first
Cool James.
LL Cool James. Yeah. But Snoop Dogg's
Was he from that
single.
time? Was he from the West?
No, he's from New York.
Okay, so I like the New York stuff.
Well, then don't make me pull out Wu-Tang. My point is that there was a lot of samples coming off George Clinton music.
Yeah.
Especially now, I will say more so probably from Parliament and Parliament Funkadelic and his stuff. Maybe not from this. Yeah. However, a East Coast rapper named Redman did an album and he replicated the cover. So, I mean, this album made a lot of waves. I'm amazed that I never checked it out till now. I admit it. Give me a 5 IQ level there, Mr. Jugi, whoever makes the comments on the Lee Gerstmann show. But we love your comments.
I don't love them.
Don't slam Lee.
I don't love those. I don't love his comments.
Slam me. But anyway.
Slam no one. Stay away, Mr. Juby Booby Booby.
Yeah, boo boo. Let's get into it, man. Let's
All right.
Let's pick this one apart here.
Let's
Funkadelic,
you start.
1971.
You start. Okay, what do you think of Maggot Brain, the title tune?
Well, we get a strange spoken word intro about Mother Earth's 4th pregnancy and drowning in shit. And then the song gets going. And for my money, this is some of the best guitar playing I've heard in a long time. The guitarist here, Eddie Hazel, was told by George Clinton, who produced the whole album, he told him, play this as if you heard your mother died and emote how it would feel. And I would say that's a pretty accurate description of what we hear on this track. Mr. Hazel, which is how he should be addressed after hearing this masterpiece, stated Hendrix was a major influence on the solo, and it comes through. Clinton produces the album, like I said, and he says he echoplexed this 3 or 4 times. I guess that's some technical term, echoplexing.
I know what it means.
This should be essential listening for all guitar fans. A plus times affinity. I say to this one, it's excellent.
I thought I would be the expert on this album, but you and your research are gonna make me be you. But anyway, this is mostly a vehicle for Eddie Hazel to wail away, and wail away he does, almost in a classical format like Chopin. It's very impressive, and I don't mind having an opening track like this. It's like getting stoned in an urban wasteland in the Bronx with nothing but garbage cans and hazy fog surrounding everything. Great song. All right.
Yeah.
Now for Can You Get to That? Okay. I like it. I do think it would cause some people to wonder if they're listening to the same album, but I realize they can do more than one thing. First, they do something spacey and intense, and then they do something more soulful, but it's a fine song and I can groove with it. What do you think?
Well, let's talk about a strange follow-up to the cosmic sounding title track to an almost country style sounding track. Well, almost. I guess I'm going to say acoustic blues is a better description with gospel backing vocals.
Huh.
Definitely lyrically and vocally, I see some roads to future Parliament sounds here. This one sounded like it was trying to fit in a bit with the other sounds of the time, so it doesn't come across as fresh and as exciting as the title track. But it has enough quirky elements to make it fun, but not a mandatory listen like that title track.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. In fact, you think of it more like how I used to think of it. So that's
Yeah.
cool. You're listening to it how I used to listen. But anyway, what do you think of Hit It and Quit It?
Well, the title is badass. We're back on with something I can sink my teeth into here. This is a fine and dandy funk rock track here. Vocals are kind of whatever on this, but I don't think it's the point. You know, Bernie Worrell, the keyboardist, he provided the vocals, but more importantly, he provided a badass keyboard solo. The guitars are full of wah goodness here, and another smoking solo takes us out on this one. So while it isn't sending a profound message lyrically, you don't need it to jam out to it. And this is what this is, a cool dance track.
Right on. I put, this is like the song that resolves how the first two songs could be together on the same album by having a song with both types of music on a track. This is like BTO Express meets Jimi Hendrix. Really hip song. I like it. And now for you and your folks, me and my folks. This has that fuzzy, overloud, low-rider bass sound to it. And the song is fun and sounds like a jam. Perhaps not as developed as it could have been, but they don't seem to worry about that and play it as if they mean it. And it ultimately does work. A deep track, but not a bad one. What do you think?
It's a song about interracial relationships, which is pretty cool here in 1971. Like, guess who's coming to dinner? The drums are electronically distorted, which makes this incredibly otherworldly sound. The bassist, Billy Nelson, he lays down the lead vocals, and I find them a bit more enjoyable than Bernie Worrell, who did the previous song. But much like that song, it doesn't matter so much if you know what's going on, because lyrically it is a little sparse, but it makes your head bob. And that everything is yet again good here, but the sound of the drums are the highlight. I really like the sound of those drums.
Right on. What do you think of Super Stupid?
This almost sounds like something Sabbath would or could have done, at least riff-wise. Eddie Hazel sings it, and he sounds almost like a cross of Hendrix and Lenny Kravitz here vocally. The percussion on this is excellent, as well as Hazel's guitar solo is just fucking ripping. Should be noted that this one is the only song that Audioslave made a cover track of, ever.
Huh.
This song right here. And I can definitely hear the influence overall in their sound to begin with, so it makes sense. This track, Straight Out Smokes, is a damn near perfect song. I love Super Stupid.
Okay, I put, this would be like if Curtis Mayfield and Jimi Hendrix did an extreme, heavy super session, and the only song that was released from it was this. Great soloing, great song, sounds even better on a great system. Right on rocking track.
Yeah.
And now for Back in Our Minds. Okay, this is like a song by the group War from their album Why Can't We Be Friends? And it works. It's maybe more of a deep track because of the song before and after it, but on its own, it stands on its own, and I rather like it. What do you think?
War. Do you like him with Eric Burden or without?
Both.
No. This one sounds almost comical, Back in Our Minds, especially in comparison to the previous tracks, Super Stupid. George Clinton is laying down the lead vocals. The percussion sounds are what comes across as a bit comical to me. Not a terrible R&B style song here, but I have to admit, the rock sounds are so strong in this album that a track like this, while I guess is some interesting digressions, comes across a bit more filler, but acceptable.
I hear you.
and good filler, not that nasty kind of filler. It just lacks compared to the stronger tracks.
You know, in fact, I used to agree with you. In fact, when I used to hear it back in the day, when I first heard it, a minute later I would be like, what was that I just heard? And I would forget it. Anyway, what do you think of Wars of Armageddon, the last song?
This song has a little bit of everything, from air raid sirens to some Santana-esque guitar sounds to even a baby crying. They credit George Clinton with lead vocals, but I probably wouldn't go that far. It's just a lot of yelling. But like the other good ones, it doesn't matter at all. And it doesn't take away from the enjoyment. Vocally, it's damn near hip-hop. I wouldn't quite call it that, but it's close. Really close. The production on this is top-notch. Tons of swirls and pans on your headphones there. This one comes across as I'd call an orgasm of sound, if you will. We started with Killer, and we end with it as well. Kick-ass song, and overall a kick-ass album. I'm glad I've listened to it, and I'm glad I recommended it. Go ahead, Lee.
Thank you. And I put, the basic song is more like a scratch track, but with great riffs on occasion, and the beat and funk is undeniable. But what makes this song stand out are the sound effects, many of which are in tune and sound like they weren't found recordings, but things the band made for the song. And it works because the sound effects fill in when the band is playing basic, and it's overall a fun tune. Pretty cool. Right on.
So overall, if you're a rock and roll fan, like a little cowbell every now and then, some crazy shit. That's a joke for you Blue Oyster Cult fans.
Yeah.
I mean, this blows my mind because Parliament, which we're going to have to do Parliament Funkadelic. We got to add the two because we've already done Parliament. Now we've done Funkadelic.
All right.
Well, we could do George Clinton on his own too. No.
Let's. Never mind. We can do whatever.
Well, you enjoyed Parliament.
I know. I'm getting into my bitchy drunk
It was
lead
way
mood.
more R&B-ish, that's for sure. And if you're into some rock and shit, I almost feel guilty that I never heard this album. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some really, really killer fucking guitar tracks on this fucking album. Just the title track alone. Yeah, I mean, the title track and the last fucking song. Listen to those two. If you like guitar, you like something with some balls, you'll enjoy it. And then try a little Parliament and see the difference. George Clinton was a very talented man, and I'm sad he's no longer with us. And I'm glad that I met Lee Gersman, who's got a 40 IQ and I got a 10, and we review this stuff on his great show, and I know that person is waiting to listen to this review. And I hope I did a great enough job for you, who probably thinks Toad the Wet Sprocket's a great band.
Ew.
Yeah, ew.
Let a snake come up while he's taking a poop.
Yeah, fucking guy. Anyway, I'm glad we did it, Lee.
Yeah, right on.
Thanks for having
Thank you so much.
Me back and doing some Funkadelic.
Yeah, right on. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.